Welcome to How to Cook That. I'm Ann Reardon and it's time for another relaxing episode of miniature cooking. Today I thought we'd make a mini box of chocolates. So to start with, we are of course going to need some chocolate. So let's unwrap that block and then break it up into little pieces. I don't actually think this whole block will fit into such a small bowl, so I'll just get as much in as I can. That will do. And now we want to microwave that. Now normally I'd say 30 seconds stir, but this is such a tiny amount that it won't take that long. Then give that a stir to make sure that it is all melted. Then add that melted chocolate onto the mold. Now these chocolates are going to be so tiny that even one air bubble is going to create a major problem with their shape. So once I've spread it on as well as I can, I'm going to drop it a few times, really hoping to get any air bubbles out from inside the molds and up to the top. Then just use an offset spatula to level off the tops. Now if you're a long time subscriber, then you'll know that I have a whole series of videos on how to make chocolate truffles with heaps of different fillings for them, but I'm not going to fill these with anything because they're just too tiny. And while I wait for those to set though, I might just make something else out of this leftover chocolate. Let's start by filling up a pot with water. Just turn on that tap and turn it off, and then pop that pan onto the stove top. Put the chocolate in a bowl on the top of the pan and then add some butter to that. And then give it a stir. You want to keep stirring until all the butter and chocolate is melted. You could of course do this in the microwave if you prefer. That's looking good. Now you just want to sift in the flour. Sifting the flour just gets rid of the lumps and it also helps aerate it, adds a bit of air to the mixture, and then add in some sugar. Grab your cocoa powder, put that into the mix, and then whisk that together to make sure it's all mixed in. Then we want to add the eggs, and I nearly forgot the baking powder. It won't rise without that. Mix it all together. And then tip that mixture into a lined cake tin and then put that into the oven to bake. While that's baking, let's check on the chocolates. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get these out of the mold. I've never attempted to make chocolate that's this tiny before. Here we go. Oh, they're coming out. This one here has a pretty bad air bubble in it, and so does that one, but most of the others look like they turned out okay, so now to decorate them. Let's put a tiny stripe of white chocolate across the top of the square ones, and we'll give that a second stripe, just going across. And some dark chocolate onto some of the others. Because these are so tiny, it's really hard to pipe onto them without just piping a blob of chocolate that's as big as the chocolate itself. And then I'm going to have to use a knife to cut the chocolate stripes in between the pieces because it's too light just to fall down the sides like it normally would at full size. Now that they're set, let's put them into a box. If you want to make your own tiny box of chocolates, I'll put the template for this box on the howtocookthat.net website for you, but be warned, it's really fiddly to fold. It is such a mini box, and then putting chocolates into it is also very tricky. But they do look oh so cute when they're all done. Oh, let's not forget about our cake in the oven. Let's get that out and turn off the heat. Things cool down fairly quickly when they're this small, so we can tip it out onto the cooling rack. Once it's completely cold, pop the cake onto a plate and sprinkle it with some icing sugar. Then you just want to cut a slice and serve it up. Now some people have said to me because the whole kitchen is miniature, they sometimes forget just how small all of this is. So for size comparison, here is the box of chocolates next to an ordinary fork. It's really small. This chocolate cake is very moist and very chocolatey, and the recipe for it is of course in my Crazy Sweet Creations cookbook, and I'll link you to that below. And I'll also link you to the playlist of all the normal sized chocolate truffles if you want to make a normal box of chocolates rather than a mini one. I'll leave you with a compilation of some of my other mini videos that I've made in the past so you can enjoy them all in the one place. Make it a great week, and I'll see you on Friday. With thanks to my patrons for all your support. In a world where people love to be discouraging, you guys are a breath of fresh air. Make it a great week, and I'll see you on Friday.